Saquon Barkley became the 9th player in NFL history to post a 2,000-yard rushing season during Sunday's win over the Cowboys. It also helped the Eagles clinch the NFC East title, which puts them in a bit of a quandary heading into Week 18. Barkley sits just 101 yards from breaking Eric Dickerson's all-time single-season NFL rushing record. Philly's locked into the 2 seed in the NFC playoffs. Do you play him in an otherwise meaningless game against the Giants? Head coach Nick Sirianni addressed the elephant in the room on Philly radio Tuesday.
Everything's taken into account. We want to always do. I'm going to always do what's best for the team and the individuals. Going for that. I talk through everything with everybody. I'll talk to our staff. I'll talk to the players. I'll talk to Howie. I'll talk to Mr. Laurie. I'll talk to everybody, and to try to make sure I'm making the best decision for the football team. And that's your job as a head coach.
All right, so Nick Sirianni's taking input from everyone in the building in Philly. We here at the HQ turn our lonely eyes to CBS Sports NFL writer Ryan Wilson. Ryan, what do you think about the way the Eagles are going about this decision on Saquon? Do you think he should play against his former team in Week 18?
Hey, Russ, Happy New Year. I give Nick Sirianni a ton of credit for making it clear to everyone as publicly as possible that he is asking the owner, the general manager, and anyone who will listen, just so he won't be held responsible for whatever happens over the next couple days here, because you got to make sure you cover all your bases, so to speak. Look, I'm of two minds of this. It's been a fantastic run for Saquon, not only sticking it to the Giants who let him walk, but also helping this Eagles team get to as far as they've gotten, and with the hopes they hope to achieve going forward over the next 4 or 5 or 6 weeks. But I did a little digging. You talked about it coming in, Russ. 9 other players have eclipsed 2,000 yards, and of course, you're going for the ultimate mark there with Eric Dickerson, and Saquon's 101 yards away. The last person to do it, and you see it here in 2020, Derrick Henry. And in Week 17, back when they only played 16 games, Derrick Henry, in a meaningless game against Houston, they gave him the ball 34 times, Russ, for 250 yards in that last game. He averaged 7 yards per carry. 7 days later in the wild card matchup against the Ravens, let's see here. He averaged 2.2 yards per carry, 40 yards on 18 carries. So, look, Saquon's not going to run for 250. If he gets 101, they'll bring him out, and I understand that. But you just have to be careful about trying to get this record at the expense of what your long-term goals might be this season. And it is a balancing act. I think Sirianni's right, and he's right to ask everyone their opinion. Saquon said he'll do whatever is in the team's best interest, and that's the right answer, and that's been his approach all season. The other thing is this. If they end up whoever they end up playing, it'll either be Green Bay or Washington. He went for 100 on both those teams this year. So it's certainly doable a week from the end of Week 18. I say give him an opportunity, but just be careful, because your long-term goal is to win the Super Bowl. This would be a great achievement for Saquon for sure. But you got to be careful is what I'm saying.
No, I'm with you. I think you got to give him the opportunity, maybe the first half. Give him the first half to get 101 yards, shut it down, regardless, unless he's 2 yards away at that point. Let's move along. Brock Purdy's season, it's over pretty much. After injuring his elbow in Monday night's loss to the Lions, the Niners QB avoided any long-term injury. That's good news, according to the results from an MRI on Tuesday. Purdy entering the final year of his rookie contract. How does this all affect contract negotiations between Purdy and San Francisco?
It shouldn't at all, and the good news is he avoided major injury, as you noted, and Kyle Shanahan talked about that, because the initial fear was it was going to be that UCL that he suffered a few years ago in the playoffs against the Eagles. That obviously cost him the rest of that game and then recovery time throughout the summer. He's been one of the steadying factors on this offense, an offense that's been beset by injury every turn, every week it feels like. They lost Brandon Ayuk. Trent Williams has been on the shelf for large parts of the season. They lost just about every running back not named Isaac Garendo. And through it all, Brock Purdy, and to a lesser extent, only mildly, George Kittle have been the steadying forces. We know about Christian McCaffrey's injury for much of the season as well. This shouldn't affect his value to the organization and what he should expect to make as a franchise quarterback in today's NFL market whatsoever, because the alternative, and we talked about this last night with Brian McFadden and Joe Musso on this very show here, is that what's plan B? Because, and take a look at this list, by the way. I think he's better than Trevor Lawrence. I think there's an argument you made that he's better than Tua Tagovailoa, Brock Purdy is. And if so, we're talking around $55 million or maybe even a little north of that. Does he get Dak Prescott money? I I think you could argue that Jerry Jones likes to wait to the last minute and overpay everyone and their brother, and perhaps that was the situation with Dak Prescott and CeeDee Lamb and soon to be Micah Parsons. But I think that Brock Purdy, whether he plays in a meaningless Week 18 game or not, is well worth what he ends up getting in the $50 to $60 million range. By the way, he threw for his season-high yardage yesterday before the injury. So it's not like he's slouched off at all in a season full of injuries among those around him.
It will change the salary cap calculus with the San Francisco 49ers when you have Purdy coming off his rookie contract, going to ideally make a lot of money for him. A lot of people are going to be making New Year's resolutions. We don't have time to go through each team here. If you had one New Year's resolution for one team entering Week 18, what would that be?
The New York Giants, make an effort to lose this game and get yourself in the best position possible to draft a quarterback. You cannot come out of this draft without a quarterback. That should be your New Year's resolution now and for the next 115 days till the actual draft. You currently pick 4th overall. Take one for the team. Lay down. Let Saquon get his yardage in the first quarter, and then we can get on to the business at hand of scouting these quarterbacks, finding out whether you like Cam Ward or Shedeur Sanders best, and then going out and get them. The Patriots are playing Buffalo. Buffalo said they're not sure if they're going to rest their starters. Cleveland is going to be facing a Baltimore team that's going to be firing on all cylinders because they're going to try to win that game. And the Titans face Houston, and Houston sounds like they're going to play their starters as well. So some heavy lifting has to be done by the Giants by way of not winning, and that's all you got to do. Worst case, you're 4th. Perhaps you can sneak up a spot or two. Get one of these quarterbacks and then go about rebuilding this franchise because as it's currently constituted, you are everyone's homecoming team, and that's not where you want to be in the NFL.
Never in my life have I seen so many New York Giants fans mad at their team for winning a game as they were last week, and it's amazing. That's CBS Sports senior NFL draft expert Ryan Wilson. Ryan, thank you so much, and again, Happy New Year to you. And for a deeper dive into Ryan's main area of expertise, check out the With the First Pick podcast. Ryan and former NFL GM Rick Spielman diving deep into mock drafts, prospect position rankings, stock watch. It's the season, ladies and gentlemen, and interviews and so much more. It's With the First Pick, an NFL podcast from CBS Sports. Download and subscribe wherever you podcast or scan the QR code right there.
When you need your sports news all the time,
we've got breaking news to bring to you.
CBS Sports HQ gives you a snapshot of all the sports that matter to you.
Big news coming out of the NFL. A lot of movement in the rankings this week.
With highlights.
What a finish at the final round of play.
And in-depth analysis.
Can they three-peat? Tony Romo joins the conversation.
What can you say about this game?
When you need your sports in a snap,
we're bringing you that breaking news right here on HQ.
Find it on CBS Sports HQ. Streaming free anywhere you are.